Hello everyone, my name is Vic Boyd and I'm a learning technologist at the Glasgow School of Art in Scotland. I'm delighted to have been asked by Rebecca and the team to share some of our experiences of e-learning and the advent of mobile technologies with you. I'm going to go over a variety of different aspects of this and hope that it might be of some interest to you. This first presentation offers some focus on some of the contextual issues that affect e-learning here at the Glasgow School of Art. It will hopefully offer an introduction to some of the aspects of how tutors facilitate e-learning and how students learn online. I'm going to start off by talking a bit about GSE itself and the e-learning infrastructure and introduce you to some of our various online communities. I'm also going to touch on a variety of different initiatives that are aimed at supporting the development of digital literacies at GSE, and will conclude this part of the presentation by offering some discussion points to share amongst colleagues. Many of you will be familiar with our Macintosh building, which is the main building for the Glasgow School of Art, but I thought it might be interesting for you to see what's happening across the road at the moment. In September 2013, a new building to house a variety of our academic departments will open on the other side of Renfrew Street. It's been designed by architect Stephen Hall and has been planned to be a window on the Macintosh building. And should you find yourself in Renfrew Street in September 2013, this is the elevation that you might see. The Glasgow School of Art is a small specialist institution with approximately 1,800 students who study on fine art, design and architecture degrees. And we also have an increasing number of research and postgraduate enrolments. Some of our programmes, for example, include fine art photography, sculpture and environmental art, digital culture, interior design, fashion and textiles and architecture. So there really are a great diversity of different academic subjects that make up our culture and society here. There's a very strong creative culture that drives pedagogical innovation, and it's very context specific and tailored according to that particular discipline. We deliver blended learning through a virtual learning environment, which is used in a variety of different ways across the academic disciplines. For example, some areas of the school use it as a programme document repository. Some areas such as architecture might use the VLE for electronic assignment submissions, and some areas of the school are increasingly using collaboration tools such as journals, blogs and wikis. We're currently using Blackboard 9.1 Service Pack 6, and this environment is currently under review. There's also widespread and very creative use of Web 2.0 tools across the school. Many of these, in addition to the tools used within the virtual learning environment, are free web-based tools such as Blogger, and are used to create course-specific environments for students. And of course, there's increasing interest in mobile technologies. For the past 6 months, we've been piloting the Blackboard Mobile Learn app that I'll discuss in more depth in the 4th session. So as I mentioned, there's a number of different aspects of the e-learning infrastructure at GSE. We have the virtual learning environment as the main institutional repository for course documentation or media, also offers students access to collaboration tools, as I'd mentioned, and increasingly staff and students are using the virtual learning environment to facilitate the online submission of assignments, either just as a document upload or possibly through using Turnitin to facilitate students' effective use of evidence. I also mentioned a number of discipline-specific communities that make use of online solutions like Facebook or Blogger. So for example, our sculpture and environmental art and digital culture programmes have very strong communities and presences there. The school also uses a diversity of connective social media, including Facebook and Twitter, and there's also extensive use of cross-discipline and discipline-specific software across the school. Here are just a few examples of some of the use of social media connected with the Glasgow School of Art. There are very vibrant Facebook communities and a very prolific Twitter account that lets students and staff know about different events happening in our learning community. There are also a series of library blogs letting staff and students know about new acquisitions or particular topics of academic interest in the media. All of these communities, in addition to the VLE, allow students and staff access to a rich network of different communities across the school. But because of this richness, we are aware that sometimes staff and students might need a bit of assistance in navigating the digital terrain. Developing digital literacies is an increasing area of strategic interest at GSE, as is the case across the higher education sector. In the arts in particular, the DIAL project at the University of the Arts London has been particularly prolific, and I would recommend looking through some of the online resources that they have on offer. Here at GSE, we do have very diverse and rich online learning and teaching resources that include, as I've already spoken about, many virtual communities, some conceptual multimedia, and widespread use of Web 2.0 technologies and tools. Technology is very much used to support studio learning here, in terms of facilitating and capturing the creative and collaborative process, as well as in providing support. There's also an increasing expectation, both on staff and students' part, of collaboration and digital confidence. However, issues of bridging the social and academic domains as regards technology may not always be transparent, and certainly at GSA we take our role in facilitating that transition very seriously. As literature that regards digital literacies attests, students may be very confident users of technology in their personal, professional or social lives, but they may have little experience of transposing those skills for educational purposes. Recognising the role of clear expectations in student engagement is key in developing digital literacies. This means in terms of learning context, offering transitional support, and encouraging persistence of students to complete their studies. We're very conscious that students may have very specific and very well developed technological skills, but it may not necessarily be obvious how they might transpose those skills to a new academic setting. Therefore, we've spent time developing a number of initiatives to help with that. 3 examples that I'd like to share with you include the IT Twilight classes, the InfoSmart information literacy materials, and the Webtastic course that's available on our virtual learning environment. The IT Twilight classes run on Thursday evenings after formal teaching has ended for the day. The sessions cover a variety of different software packages and are delivered on a first-come, first-served basis, so are open to all students throughout the school. They're a highly collaborative way for students to learn, share with peers, and develop their technological expertise. As well as the face-to-face delivery of the IT Twilight classes, all resources are also housed on the VLE for remote and reusable access at a time convenient to students who might not be able to make the sessions. The InfoSmart resources aim to help students make sense of information literacy skills, so retrieving and using evidence in academic work. The InfoSmart resources can now be used by other institutions under Creative Commons licence. In recognition of the fact that many of our students wish to share their creative work on the web, the Webtastic VLE course provides a step-by-step guide to setting up a professional web presence. Resources include multimedia guidance on defining domain names, buying web space, and creating the web resources themselves. So at this point I'd like to pose a couple of discussion points for you to share amongst colleagues. Bearing in mind some of the examples I've shared, I'd like you to consider how this compares with your own experience. So what your experience of embedding technology in learning and teaching might be, what you know works, and what you know doesn't work so well. Also, what are your particular experiences in terms of developing digital literacies? What sort of scaffolding might you afford to your learners in order to help them to make the transition from the personal to the academic domain? In the next presentation, I'll continue the discussion on developing digital literacies in the context of an overview of some of our learners and how they might make use of learning technologies in their learning and teaching in the creative arts at the Glasgow School of Art.